Aseye TV, we are at EP Church Bubiashi Parish now, where Hajiaga just climaxed their 50th anniversary. And I have here with me their special guest of honor, Honorable Samuel OKUDZETO Ablakwa, MP for Northton. Honorable, you're welcome to Aseye TV.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be on.
Honorable, please, how do you find today's service?
It was amazing. As I told them during my speech, I really enjoyed the service. The sermon was really fantastic, and the song ministrations from the various groups was also very touching, soothing to the soul, and it renewed our commitment to the Lord. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm glad I was invited, and I congratulate the Hajiaga for their 50th anniversary celebrations.
Thank you. Please, are you an EP Church member?
No, I'm not, but I consider myself an affiliate because I have lots of members in my family who are EP Church members. And in my constituency, I think that if you are ranking the top two, big, churches, the EP Church Ghana will be, if not the first. I think between EP and ARS, there's always that competition in my constituency. I will not be surprised if EP is number one or ARS. But you can tell that we have a lot of constituents and members who are EP Church Ghana members. There's a huge following, and the impact that EP Church has had in my constituency and Ghana generally. I was talking about many communities that without, the EP Church providing education, setting up health facilities and all of that, community development will have been lacking behind. And so we congratulate the EP Church. It's a church that I am very, very proud of, and I wish I was a member.
So you haven't been a member before?
No.
So.
No.
All right, let's come back. For our system now, our education system now, there's the introduction of CSE, which the government is saying, the current government is saying that it's not going to work at his watch. Then we are saying that we don't want it, but it's still in the 2019 budget. What do you talk about? How is it going to be taken off from the system that our younger siblings in the schools won't learn these?
No, it is clear to me, my own independent research that I have done, and my party asked me to research further into the CSC phenomenon. And what I discovered is that on our blind side, a lot has gone on. You have the UNFPA and UNESCO who are championing it. And for the case of Ghana, the Swedish government has already committed some funding, about $22 million, to support the rollout of CSE. And it's being rolled out using a two-pronged approach. First, the educational curriculum, and then secondly, using what they are calling the community environment. So using their NGOs, PPAG and others to roll it out. And it's all about bringing in very, very young children. They say that they should be open-minded, they should be tolerant of LGBTQI. You have the right to determine what sex you belong to. You can wake up today and be a man. Tomorrow you can be a woman, and all kinds of alien culture that is not known to us, which our laws also frown on. And I am glad that thanks to the vigilance of the church, civil society, we have been able to see through what has been done, though they are far advanced. Because if you look at the teacher's pack with a new standard-based curriculum, it finds expression in there, in the teacher's pack, specifically page 11. It's found expression in the 2019 budget and other documents. I do know that there is a technical officer who has been appointed solely for rolling out CSE in Ghana. Then there is also the aspects to do with funding, and then other manuals that have already been launched and are being distributed in the system. So it behoves on the church to be vigilant. We should continue the coalition that is opposed to this introduction, and we should be a step ahead. They are using very sophisticated, very, shrewd means to introduce it in Ghana, and we all have to be on the alert. And that's why I said in my remarks that we shouldn't think that we have won the battle, not at all. Even if the government has now made a commitment that it will not be in the curriculum in our communities. The second strategy is to use the non-school approach. So NGOs, civil society organizations. And so when the children have closed from school or the out of school youth can still be targeted. And I'm expecting that we will all continue to maintain our vigilance, and we should mount a very rigorous, defense and protect our country from the infiltration of these, highly sophisticated LGBTQI groups who have a secret agenda they are pursuing.
Thanks for the explanation. I'm on still education, free SHS. We are hearing that too. The former president is saying when he comes back, he's going to collapse it. Is it true, or is just against your government?
What our former president has said is that when he comes to power, God willing, on the 7th of January 2021, he will review free SHS and make it better, make it stronger. The word review does not stand for cancellation. It's not a synonym for canceling or collapsing free SHS. It's just negative propaganda that is being put out there. I mean, we have carried out a number of reviews when we were in power, and all those reviews made things better. For example, when we came to power, we reviewed the computerized school selection and placement system. We did not take away that computerized placement system. We rather improved it and made it better. So during our time, you didn't see what happened at the Independence Square, where parents, and students have to be struggling through stampede and all of that just because of senior high school placement. When we came, we reviewed BEC, and we decided that it is not good that at that very young age, 13, 14-year-olds, write the BEC only once. If they fail or the results are not good enough, that is the end of their life and their academic progression. So we reviewed it and we introduced the private BEC so that now you can sit for the BEC as a private candidate. It was mind-boggling that at higher levels, at senior high school level, WASI level, at the university level, you can rewrite your exams when you fail or when you want better grades. However, those who are more vulnerable, rather, the very young ones who we should care about, there was no second chance or third chance for them. So we have a history of reviewing and making things better, So it is just wicked propaganda by our opponents to hang something around our neck and the neck of our flag bearer, which is not true. Check our record. Anytime we have reviewed something, we have made it better, like the examples I have given you. And so we should continue to agree with the National Democratic Congress and many others who have said, including parents and the students themselves, who have said that double track, for example, when President Akufo-Addo promised free SHS, he didn't announce to Ghanaians that it will come with double track. One of the things we want to address when we review free SHS is to end the double track. Our program of building more senior high schools, the 200 community day schools, if the current administration had continued with that program, there will be no need for double track, which is leading to truancy, is reducing quality. Now, parents don't even know how to keep track. My young teenage daughter says that she's on gold track. I don't really know whether it's gold track, green track, red track. They're probably vacated. They are not in school, but she says she's in school and probably hiding somewhere with some boyfriend or whatever, or a wrong group influencing them negatively. And we all cannot track, and it's leading to breakdown of, discipline, of, values and all of that, which cannot continue. That is why we are saying that we need to review this whole. It's clear that there are implementation challenges. There are teething problems associated with the rollout of the program. So we will review it and make sure that it's better, it's stronger, there is no double track, quality is not compromised, and our students are prepared more adequately for the task ahead. That is what we mean when we say we will review free SHS.
Thank you very much. My last question is, next year is an election year. What do you have for the youth out there?
Next year will be the 8th election since we return to multi-party democracy. As I was telling the congregation, it is important that we commit to a free and fair election without violence. What happened in Ayawaso West Wagon should not be tolerated and must not be accepted to recur. We call on the young people of this country to look at their living conditions, to look at which of the parties puts forward a pragmatic, realistic program. I believe that after the coming into power of the Akufo-Addo government, just promising for votes should be a thing of the past. Moving forward, the youth should be critical. They should be more analytical. When politicians make promises, they should ask, how are you going to implement it? How are you going to fund it? Where will the money come from? How realistic is the promise? Here we are today, after all the talk about $1 million per constituency, one village, one dam, one district, one factory. We can't see them. In my constituency where I am as MP, there is no one district, one factory, no $1 million per constituency. We are in our 3rd year. We should have had $3 million now. We don't even have $1. You know, so it should tell you that it's not about just making promises to win elections. We were told that within 18 months, they will transform Ghana. Ghana will become like, you know, the West or Europe or the developed countries. What has happened? So let's be more vigilant and be more critical, be more discerning, and vote for a party that presents pragmatic and workable programs, and a party that tells you the truth. We will be sincere to the people. Look at the crisis now with medical education and teaching education. We were sincere with the people. We said that, look, the needy students, instead of allowances, you are now tertiary students. We will give you student loans so that we can have money to employ you when you graduate. Now, every week, you see the midwives, student nurses demonstrating. They want employment, but there is no money to employ them. We then saved money to build more hospitals. $1.5 billion was spent to build all these hospitals, which have now been abandoned. If we were in power, continue with our program, these hospitals will have been completed. They will be functioning. There will be no bed syndrome, as is happening now. Nurses will be employed. And that was a more pragmatic program. But they came with mouth-watering alternatives, which were not realistic. And that's where we are today. Look at the teachers now. After